Okay, so if I say the phrase, because you know I'm all about that bass.
Oh, it auto-completes in my head.
Instantly, right?
That bass, no treble.
Yeah,
It's like a reflex for anyone who was near radio in 2014.
exactly. And that's usually where the conversation about that song just stops. We file Meghan Trainor's all about that bass under, massive earworm,
Yeah, candy-colored everywhere. Maybe you got sick of it.
which is totally fair. But digging into the stack of articles and chart histories we have for this deep dive, I realized I had the whole story wrong.
Oh, so?
I just assumed it was, a standard pop product. A label decides, hey, we need a body positivity anthem, hires some writers, and boom.
That is the usual playbook. But this was definitely not that. The story is messy. It was a sleeper hit that broke, like, every rule in the industry at the time.
It really did, and we're not just talking a minor hit. It was #1 for 8 straight weeks in the U.S. That's a staggering run.
And looking at the sources, it became more than a song. It was a catalyst, wasn't it? It forced this huge global conversation about body image.
A conversation pop culture was maybe not quite ready for.
Definitely not. Because for every person who felt seen by that song, there was a critic pointing to faux feminism or skinny shaming. It was a total lightning rod.
So that's our mission for this deep dive. We are going to go way past that hook and figure out how a 40-minute writing session between two Nashville outsiders ended up as a Diamond certified record.
And we're going to get into all that friction too. Because
Yeah.
you really can't talk about this song without talking about the backlash.
To get how unlikely this all was, you have to look at where Meghan Trainor was before 2014, because she was not on the cover of magazines.
Far from it. And that context is, it's totally crucial to the song's DNA. She'd basically given up on being an artist.
She'd released albums before, though, right?
Yeah, 3 independent ones, but they didn't go anywhere. So by 2012, she signs a publishing deal in Nashville.
And for anyone who doesn't know the industry jargon, a publishing deal means you're writing songs for other people.
Exactly. You're the person behind the curtain. She moved to Nashville to be a professional songwriter. The stardom thing was, in her mind, over.
But why? Why give up on being the front woman?
It's actually really sad when you read her quotes from that time. She just didn't think she fit the pop star mold. She said she saw herself as one of the chubby girls who would never be an artist.
Wow. So she literally didn't see a physical space for herself on a pop stage.
None. Which explains why she was just there to, grind it out as a writer.
Okay, so that sets the scene. Fast forward to June 2013.
Right. Carla Wallace from her publishing company decides to play matchmaker. She sets Meghan up on a writing session with a guy named Kevin Kadish.
And was Kadish like a big name?
Not really. An industry veteran, but not a star maker. He even called the session a blind date. They'd never met. They had no idea if they'd click.
That sounds so awkward. Just, hi, nice to meet you. Now let's write a hit song.
Pretty much. But they bonded almost immediately. And not over modern pop music.
What was it then?
They were both obsessed with 1950s and 60s music, doo-wop.
Which, we should point out, was not cool in 2013.
Not even a little bit. We were at peak EDM. But they're in there, vibing on oldies, and Kadish pulls out this list of song titles he's been keeping.
He just had a list of titles.
Yeah, it's a common songwriter thing. And on that list was the phrase, all bass, no treble.
And that just clicked for Trainor.
It was this amazing cognitive leap. For Kadish, it was probably just a clever audio pun. But Meghan immediately saw a metaphor for the human body.
Okay, let's unpack that a little because it's the whole song.
Right. She basically mapped sound frequencies to body types. Bass is the low end, so thickness curves. Treble is the high end, so thinness.
That's actually a pretty smart piece of imagery for a pop song. It's simple, but it works on a couple of levels.
It does. And it came from a really personal place. She started channeling all her own frustrations from her teenage years. And Kadish got it, too. He told Rolling Stone he had his own body image issues growing up.
So it was this shared insecurity that sparked it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the sources all say it happened incredibly fast.
How fast are we talking?
40 minutes.
40 minutes to write a song that went diamond? That's insane. I take longer to write an email.
Start to finish. Kadish built the beat, and Trainor basically freestyled the hook right over it. It wasn't overthinking, it was just pure flow.
Okay, so they finished the demo. They have this incredibly catchy retro anthem. The labels must have jumped on it immediately.
You would think. But nope, they pitched it to multiple labels, and the answer was a hard no. Every single one.
Nobody wanted it. Why? Was it the lyrics?
It was the sound. You have to put yourself back in 2014. The radio was all Calvin Harris, Avicii, Zedd, just massive synth drops.
Right. Everything sounded like a giant, glorious robot.
Exactly. And then this song comes along that sounds like it's from 1958. The labels told them flat out, this is too retro, re-record it with synthesizers.
They wanted to turn it into an EDM track.
They wanted to strip out everything that made it special. And here's the crucial moment. Meghan and Kevin said no.
Good for them.
They absolutely stuck to their guns. They believed that the original demo sound was where the magic was.
Let's get into that sound because it's a weird mix. It's not just oldies.
No, it's this whole genre-bending cocktail. Slate magazine had this great description. They called it vintage white girl, Italo-Latin soul.
That is a mouthful. What does Italo-Latin soul even mean, instrument-wise?
It means it's organic. Kadish played the real drums, the guitar, the bass. You've got a Hammond organ in there.
And that saxophone, right? That low honking sound.
A baritone sax, yeah. That gives it that rhythmic drive. And the hand claps and percussion, that's Meghan Trainor herself.
It just feels human and fun.
It has a walking pace. Critics called it a scatting tempo and a shimmying melody. There's some wild comparisons, actually, to K-pop and even to the band Fish.
Fish? Really?
It's that sort of bouncy, infectious rhythm. It feels familiar even if you don't know why.
So, okay, they have this song. The labels all hate it. How does it get from the rejection pile to L.A. Reid's desk?
It's just a classic case of getting in the right room. She gets a meeting with an A&R guy at Epic who likes it enough to get her in front of Reid himself a week later.
And this is the big moment.
But she doesn't just play the demo. She walks in with a ukulele.
You're kidding. A ukulele audition for the chairman of a major record label? That is risky.
It's so bold. But she performs it right there, stripped down, and it worked. L.A. Reid signed her 20 minutes later.
20 minutes?
He called the song Lightning in a Bottle.
And did he make them add the synth?
He did not. He completely validated them. He decided the original demo they made would be the final master.
That is just an incredible story. But once that song was out in the world, things got complicated. We have to talk about the lyrics.
We do. Because this is where the story pivots from this fun underdog tale to a full-on cultural battleground.
On its face, the message seems so positive. Trainor was trying to push back against the silicone Barbie dolls and photoshopped magazines.
Right. For millions of people, especially young women, it was this huge anthem of self-acceptance. It got compared to Christina Aguilera's Beautiful.
What?
But not everyone heard it that way. The backlash was pretty swift.
Let's start with the skinny shaming thing. That was the first big critique.
It was. Critics argued that to lift up curvy women, she was tearing down thin women.
By calling them treble.
Or stick figures. And of course, there's the line, go ahead and tell them skinny bitches that.
Yeah, I remember hearing that and just thinking, ooh, that's a choice. It felt unnecessarily divisive.
Exactly. The argument from places like Vox was that true body positivity has to include all bodies. If you're just flipping the hierarchy, you haven't really fixed the problem.
Did she ever respond to that?
She did. She basically said she didn't work this hard to hate on skinny people and that she was kind of just joking around.
But there was a deeper critique, too, right? The faux feminism argument.
This one is more complex. It centers on the male gaze, specifically the lyric, boys like a little more booty to hold at night.
Ah, okay. So the argument is, it's okay to love your body because men will find you attractive.
Precisely. Critics said it's not real empowerment if your self-worth is still tied to male validation. It's not love yourself for you, it's love yourself because it'll get you a guy.
That's a really important distinction. It kind of makes the self-love conditional.
It does. And if you need proof that the industry knew that line was an issue, you just have to look at the Radio Disney edit.
Oh, I love radio edits. They tell you everything. What did they change?
Well, there was the normal stuff. Shape it, shake it, became make it, make it.
Down your piano.
But the big change was that line, the booty line. In the Disney version, it becomes, get this, boys like the girls for the beauty they hold inside.
Wait, what?
I know.
They changed booty to hold at night to beauty they hold inside. That fundamentally changes the entire thesis of the song.
It's a massive pivot. It ironically fixes the feminist critique by making it about inner beauty. It's wild.
That is fascinating. The corporate censorship actually made the song's message, well, better.
Or at least less complicated.
So the lyrics are causing this whole stir. But the video was a phenomenon in itself. All the pastels, the dancing.
The whole aesthetic. Directed by Fatima Robinson. But here's the detail that really got me from the research.
What's that?
Despite the whole love yourself theme, Trainor said that the first time she saw the finished video, she cried.
Tears of joy.
No. She was insecure. She didn't like how she looked on camera. She said she went in and edited the crap out of it herself.
Wow. So here she is, about to become the global face of self-acceptance, and she's struggling with her own image in the editing room.
It just shows how real that insecurity was for her. Writing the song didn't just magically cure it.
But the video came out, and it blew up, partly because of a platform that doesn't even exist anymore.
R.I.P. Vine. Explain the Vine connection.
So one of the dancers in the video was a big Vine star named Sion McCallopy. He's the guy who does the splits.
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
He shared the video with his followers, and it just created this viral loop that pushed it into the YouTube algorithm. It was a perfect storm.
But, like the lyrics, the video brought its own controversy. Specifically, accusations of cultural appropriation.
Yes. This came from critics at places like Vice and The Fader. They pointed to her singing style, which some described as a blasant.
And the visuals, too.
Right. There are scenes with her surrounded by twerking black dancers. The critique was that she was using black culture as a prop to seem cool and edgy while still being a very safe white pop star.
It's that classic problem of trying on a culture without living the experience.
Exactly. It's a complicated conversation that followed a lot of artists at the time, but it was definitely part of the song story. Okay, so let's zoom out. You have this retro song, controversial lyrics, a viral video, huge debates. What was the actual tangible impact?
The impact was something Vogue literally called the era of the big booty.
I remember that. The year of the booty. It was everywhere.
And it wasn't just Trainor. You had J-Lo's song Booty and Nicki Minaj's Anaconda all in the same year, 2014.
It was a full-on cultural shift.
A massive one. But Trainor's song was the one that crossed over to, the mainstream grocery store radio audience.
And when you change the culture that much, there are real-world effects. You found some data that just floored me.
This is my favorite so what metric. Billboard reported that one New York doctor saw a 25% increase in Brazilian buttock augmentation surgeries in 2014.
Wait, really? People were getting surgery because of this trend?
It sure seems like it. And a company that makes padded underwear called Booty Pop saw a 47% jump in demand.
That is the power of a pop song. It didn't just reflect culture, it physically altered it. That's wild.
It really is. And you've hit peak culture when the parodies start.
Oh, the parodies, they were inescapable.
You had NASA interns doing all about that space.
Which was great.
The Holderness family had that huge Thanksgiving viral hit all about that bass.
More butter, no treble. I can still hear it.
And even a Star Wars one, all about that bass, no rebels. The hook was just a perfect meme format.
And the sales numbers.
Just unbelievable. It was the best-selling song by a female artist in the 2010s in the U.S., Diamond certified, #1 in 58 countries.
58. For a debut single. From a writer who thought she'd never be an artist.
It shattered records.
So, to bring it all home, we have a song written in 40 minutes that gets rejected by everyone. It gets signed on the strength of a ukulele performance.
And then it just takes over the entire planet.
But in doing so, it forces these incredibly difficult, messy conversations about body image, feminism, and race.
When you lay it out like that, it sounds like fiction, but that's the
It
story.
really feels like a double-edged sword.
It is. On one hand, it genuinely empowered millions of people. You can't take that away. That's a real, tangible good.
But on the other,
It also showed how hard it is to talk about body positivity in a 3-minute pop song without alienating someone or falling into a trap like seeking male validation.
it's messy.
It's very messy, but it did open a door. Looking back, it was a pivotal moment where pop music started to sound and look a little different.
And that's a legacy worth having, I think, even with all the controversy.
Absolutely.
Before we wrap, I want to leave you with one final thought to mull over, and it goes back to that Radio Disney edit.
The booty to beauty swap.
It just sticks with me. If that line about physical validation was so easily swapped for something so profound about inner beauty, does that suggest the original lyric was just a calculated commercial choice to begin with?
Or maybe, did the corporate censorship accidentally create a better, more meaningful song than the one that was originally written?
That's the question. Sometimes the edit reveals what could have been. Thanks for listening to this deep dive. We'll catch you on the next one.